Yo everyone, what's up? Today I wanted to do something a little bit different on the channel. So this time around I'm going to be ranking the best Grand Theft Auto games by their story. I just wanted to let you know that before we start. This isn't a tier list based on graphics. This is not a tier list based on guns or cars or gameplay or nothing like that. Just the story by itself. I'm just making that clear because I know some people love to come in the comments and say
GTA 4 has better physics than GTA 5, so why did you put it there?
So before the GTA 4 simps or the GTA 3 simps say anything dumb like that, I just gotta put that out there, you get me? Alright, let's jump in the tier list now. Alright, so first up we got GTA San Andreas. Now, this one is my personal favorite when it comes to story. I think the whole journey from Los Santos to San Fierro to Las Venturas, everything that happened in that game, right? From one point to the next and from the next point to the other. Like, it was just put together so well, especially on a map that size at the time when it came out. I know GTA San Andreas isn't the biggest map ever made or anything like that, but I mean, at the time when I played it,
I'll have two number 9s, a number 9.
like for the first time, it was a big map to me, and that whole journey, the whole story, was just a really memorable story for me personally, and how I could relate to some of the themes in it. I think GTA San Andreas is one of the best stories ever told in all of gaming history, and I'd put it right up there with the likes of The Witcher 3 and games like that, you know, one of the legendary stories that have been told in video games as a medium for storytelling. Next up, we got my second favorite story, but I think this is probably the best GTA story overall. My favorites aside, my personal favorites aside, like I think Vice City is probably the best GTA story ever told, because I think it represents what a GTA story should aim to be. You get me? Along those lines at least. I think it's the perfect representation or the perfect reference that any GTA developer could look at and say, yeah, this is what we want the story to be like. Something along these lines at least. I think Vice City is probably the father of all GTA stories. However, the main limitation to it is the fact that it's based in the 1980s. And so if you wanted to use Vice City as a reference for a GTA game set in modern day, right? Obviously a lot of things would have to change, like what GTA 5 did, for example, with hacking and stuff like that. Obviously technology has advanced a lot, so you would want things like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, stuff like that would have to be involved in the story in terms of like robberies and stuff like that. Obviously you'd have to change things up a bit to suit the modern times, and obviously the culture has changed, hence you see a lot of social media in the GTA 6 trailer. But at the end of the day, the reason why I say Vice City is probably still king when it comes to a GTA story is because even if you do base a GTA game in the modern day, it could still just be a case of same shit, different time period. So obviously you would need to add different types of crimes to the story. You know, cybercrime would obviously have a greater emphasis and a greater impact on the story. And regardless of the time period, once again, organized crime is just organized crime, you get me? So obviously you'd want some serious scamming and shit like that involved with the story. The main characters in GTA 6 are probably gonna scam for those bricks, bro, I'm telling you. And obviously when you hear me talking about scamming, I don't mean video game companies scamming gamers with shit games. After all, that's not a crime, that's just business, right? But anyways, next on the tier list, GTA 4. So in this version of Grand Theft Auto, we follow Niko Bellic, right? An Eastern European war veteran who immigrates to Liberty City in search of the American dream. Now, I always remembered GTA 4 as like this really grey game, and frankly, I've always looked at GTA 4 having one of the darkest stories and at the same time one of the best stories ever told in a GTA game. So you know this is going up in the S tier, bro. You know that. I don't know what it was about the GTA 4 story, but for some reason it doesn't seem like GTA 6 is gonna be as dark as GTA 4. Who knows, it could be. But I thought this would have been the tone of GTA games going forward after GTA 4 had released, but probably Rockstar just wanted to do like a little one-off in terms of how dark it was. But at the same time, I kind of get a bit of GTA 3 vibes, probably because they're both based in Liberty City and they both have that overcast look to them as well, just traveling around the city. But apart from that, the GTA 4 narrative also explores themes like betrayal, loyalty, and the pursuit of the American dream. Those are things that make Rockstar stories slap whenever they make a game, because those are things that we're all interested in. That's why we love GTA, right? But at the same time, the stories feel authentic as well. They feel like these things could have really happened, maybe like in another dimension or in a different time period. But if a story feels fake, that's where a developer could get it wrong, you get me? The fact that these stories feel so authentic, GTA stories across the board, like most of them I should say, and I mean excluding whenever they decide to do something crazy, like just for jokes or just for memes or whatever, excluding those elements to the story, like they're usually like side missions or whatever, they're usually like side stories or just some little things to help with world building, to help the game be more fun, but I'm really talking about the main story. Next up, we got Grand Theft Auto 3. In my opinion, the story of Grand Theft Auto 3, I mean, it's not my favorite, but at the same time, it's not bad at all in my opinion. GTA 3 was a revolutionary game for the time period that it came out in. And GTA 3 having such a good story, right, with some of the similar themes that you can find in a lot of the other GTA games, if not every GTA game, such as betrayal, the pursuit of power, working for crime bosses, you know, doing payphone hits, stuff like that. I mean, GTA 3, there isn't much I can really say about that. It's a good story. So it's dropping straight in the A tier. Now, Ballad of Gay Tony, that's going straight in the D tier, guys. It could go in the E or F, but I'm just gonna leave it in D for now. Now, Vice City Stories. Bro, this one is actually one of my personal favorites again. Like, I just love GTA games, guys. So if you hear me saying I got so many favorites, bro, I just love them, you get me? And right now, I'm just getting memories of playing Vice City Stories on the PSP, you know. I really enjoyed that game. And the story was lit. Victor Vance, he wasn't really like my favorite protagonist ever, but I mean, I guess he was okay. So I'm gonna drop it in the A tier right next to GTA 3. Next up, another DLC, but I'm still gonna rank it, The Lost and Damned. It wasn't the best, but at the same time it wasn't the worst. I'm gonna drop it in the B tier. Next up is Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Now this one got a lot of praise for the storyline. I know a lot of people out there really enjoyed this story, but for me personally, it's far from being my favorite. It had some epic moments, yeah, it's a GTA game, so naturally it's gonna have some, but for me, it's a C tier. And at the same time, even when these games get ranked low on the list, it doesn't mean that the stories are bad, just in general. Even the GTA games ranked lowest on this list have better stories than a ton of games coming out today, so I mean, it's just compared to other GTA games. Some GTA games push the bar so high when it comes to story, so compared to each other, this is where they stand to me. Now, GTA Online, when it comes to story, the whole silent protagonist thing and just overall events that take place, like the lack of connection between certain things and just the way GTA Online is, I have to put it here. Now go cry in a corner if you think GTA Online has the best story ever made. Now GTA Chinatown was, oh boy, I remember playing this game on my Nintendo DS. This is probably the least memorable story in a GTA game ever. I don't know if it's because of the top-down view of the gameplay or what, man, but the story of this game, like, it has to be at the bottom of the list. I think it's just because of the presentation, to be honest. And besides the fact that it's a smaller budget GTA game like GTA Advance. Honestly, this shouldn't even be on this list, but because it was there, I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna rank it. Now, the one you've all been waiting for, Grand Theft Auto 5. You see, this Grand Theft Auto game has a very weak story to me. I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate that, but that's just what I believe. That's just my opinion at the end of the day. Grand Theft Auto 5 has one of the weakest stories. When you do a lot of the missions, sometimes they just feel like some random stuff, like some spectacle for no reason at all. Like, and because you have 3 protagonists, I mean, that helps to separate things even more, making it a weaker story in my opinion. I usually just prefer one protagonist, like Arthur Morgan. You feel more connected to what the character goes through. Having 3 different protagonists and the lack of character development. There are just so many things that make GTA 5 a weak story in my eyes, you get me, in my opinion. So it has to be here on the tier list. And I didn't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to go into why it's such a weak story like right now, like full details. That has to be a whole different video. Subscribe or GTA 6 is going to suck.